Alright guys, so from the title of this video, you can already tell we're going to be talking about when people tell you to go get a real job. And I love talking about this stuff because I feel like I know I'm not the only one that has to hear this stuff. You know, it is such BS, and I want to put it out there to anyone else who also has to hear this throughout their life. And being 35, being an entrepreneur, self-employed, running my own company for several years, and a previous company before that, absolutely loving it, loving life, being able to travel, you know, when I want, being on my own schedule. You know, you hear these things. People will always want to tell you, go get a real job, especially if they find that you have turned a hobby into, you know, something that makes money. If you turned into an entrepreneur and you are like running your own company now, even if it's small, you know, you got to start somewhere. So it may start out small, and that's especially during the time when people want to tell you, you know, they'll want to bring you down or say, oh, go get a real job. This isn't going to go anywhere or whatever. You know, they'll say all kinds of stuff to like kind of tear you down to their level. And it's basically coming from a place, I think, where they themselves are projecting an unhappiness with their own job or their own work or something going on in their life. They're projecting that unhappiness onto you, and they want you to not be making money at a hobby. They don't want to see that, you know, when they're unhappy in their, say, 9-to-5 job or their, you know, 2-hour commute to and from work or whatever it is. So this is for everyone out there who's ever been told to go get a real job, or you're not living in reality if you're not working a real job. Things along those lines, yeah. Some people will say that you're not living in reality because you're not working a real job. First of all, what exactly is a real job? Does it mean that you have to work 9 to 5? Does it mean you work 40 hours a week? 40 to 80 hours a week? Does it mean that you only get 2 weeks a year for vacation? Does it mean that you're not on your own schedule, that you have to ask someone else's permission to be able to take off work for the day? Like, what exactly is a real job? Does it mean that you had to go to college for 4 years and get a degree? Does it mean you have to have a master's degree? Does it mean you're supposed to be a doctor? Does it mean you're not able to, you know, take off and go travel the world when you want? Like, what exactly is a real job? Like, I don't even know. Please explain this to me. Any of you who have ever said this to somebody else. If these people who say this enjoy their job, I think that's awesome. More power to you. Just don't tell other people what to do with their life. You know, everyone creates their own reality. You've created your own reality. If you're happy with your 9-to-5 job, that's awesome. More power to you. But don't be like, oh, you're not in reality if you're not working like a real job like me. See, now the fact is that everyone creates their own reality, and everyone should be allowed to create their own reality. It's not up to somebody else to tell you what your reality is supposed to be, or that you were put on this planet to live somebody else's reality, you know? Only you know the reality that you're supposed to be living and what's right for you and why you were put on this planet. You were put here for a reason, and it's up to you to go find it, not to go like follow somebody else's footsteps, you know? Like, no. So anyone who says you're not living in reality, well, what? Am I not living in reality? Holy crap, like where am I? Like, am I just like floating in the universe, or like what exactly here? Am I in like a 5th dimension? I mean, if I'm not living in reality, where am I? Like, should I pinch myself and see if like I'm just like in a dream or something? Like maybe I'm not living in, maybe I'm like not even here. Maybe I just like dreamt all this up and I'm just like sitting here talking to you guys and it was all made up. Well, you know what? Everything is made up on this planet, okay? Everything's been made up. The whole system is made up. We're just cruising along, trying to be as happy as we can in our own worlds. And it doesn't have to follow somebody else's path or what they think is right for us, okay? You're gonna have people all the time as you're growing up or anytime throughout your life telling you that you should do this or that or the other thing, and it's really just all about what is right for you and what you think you should be doing. You are freaking incredible, okay? Like, just look at everything that you have accomplished. And if you're just starting out, just look ahead to the future and just know that you're gonna be accomplishing so many things for yourself. It's gonna be just unbelievable. And it's not gonna be because somebody else, like, told you to do it, okay? It's all you doing it for yourself. You're creating your own reality every step of the way. Every day you're creating your own reality, and it has nothing to do with somebody else telling you what to do. Like, you're never gonna be happy if you're only listening to somebody else tell you what to do all the time. You know, go get a real job means nothing. It does not mean anything to me, to you, to anybody else. So anyone who says that is really just wasting their time, and basically they're just projecting their own unhappiness with their own life or whatever's going on with them onto you. So just don't listen to those kind of people, okay? Like, you don't want to be brought down. I feel it's like that crabs in a bucket kind of thing. Like, you got all the crabs in a bucket. I know I'm vegan. I hate to use this, you know, term, but just for the sake of this video. Okay, all these crabs in a bucket. You know what happens when one tries to climb out? Yeah, the others start pulling it back down. So they all end up staying trapped in this bucket, okay? And nobody gets to get out and get free. Nobody sees the rest of the world. Nobody gets to get out and see, you know, the miles of sandy, beautiful beach ahead of them. They're just stuck in this freaking smelly, disgusting, slimy bucket. I don't know if it was really slimy, I imagine it to be. They're stuck in the bucket. Do you want to be stuck in the bucket too? No. So don't let anybody else pull you down. Get out of that bucket, start running down the beach, freaking sprint down that beach, get the hell away from them, anyone trying to pull you down, and go find your life. Go create your reality. So the next time someone tells you to go get a real job, think about this. Is a professional snowboarder do they not have a real job? What about a yoga instructor? Is that not a real job? What about a stay-at-home mom? Do they not have real jobs? Like, what about someone who does, like, oh, I don't know, like blogging, like travel blogging for a living? Like, is that not a real job? Just because these people are having fun at their jobs, what about a professional surfer? Is that not a real job? Even though they get paid like tons and tons of money and get to travel the world, but because they're having fun at their job, that's not a real job? Like, what is the definition of a real job? Why not have an unreal job? Like those to me would be like an unreal job. Like, that's an unreal way to make a living. Like, holy crap, you know? Like, let's have unreal jobs. Let's like encourage unreal jobs and like living an unreal life. To me, so far, it's looking like the unreal jobs are kind of the area that I want to be in. And there's so many different ways to make money nowadays. Like, we're not living in the past, you know, the world has changed a lot since what it used to be, even just like, you know, 10 or 20 years ago. It's like a whole different world now. There's so many new jobs available that you can take these different paths for making money, making a living. You can make a good living, you know, doing a lot of non-traditional jobs. So as I'm sitting here kind of mulling this over, it's not that I have anything against working a 9-to-5 job. A lot of people do, a lot of my friends do, and then I have a lot of friends that work, you know, non-traditional jobs, you know, makeup artists, yoga instructors, you know, how about that? How about a makeup artist? Do they not work a real job even though they're like a full-time like freelance makeup artist and they go around and do weddings, you know? Like, is that not a real job because they're out having fun and doing something that they love? And then what about jobs on the internet? Like, that's huge now, right? Like, it never used to be, so I definitely understand how people of past generations might be like, you know, well, YouTube's not going to be around forever, you know, like, you're going to have to find like a real job down the road. Well, yeah, there's like no stable jobs out there, right? You should never like have all your eggs in one basket, I guess. Like, I definitely don't like going that path. Like, I like to have like different things going on. But for me, YouTube is just a hobby. I really enjoy it. I like to keep it fun. I don't want it as my full-time job because I like the other, you know, I like my company. I like doing other endeavors, you know, I like being an entrepreneur and having other things happening in my life. But as far as other people who are like full-time YouTubers and their channel is their main source of income, you know, I think that's cool if that's what you want and that's what you're working towards. Like, that's awesome. Like, more power to you. If it's something you love and enjoy and you can make a little bit of money at it too, then awesome, right? Like, why not? I say just like roll with it, be adaptive, and humans by nature are very adaptive and they can evolve. So when the time comes, you know, if they need to evolve, they will. So people saying those kind of things like, oh, YouTube won't be around forever. Well, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't like get all worked up about it. Don't put your energy into that. You know, don't worry about it. People can evolve as they need to, you know, as they wish. And same with blogging. Like, blogging, I think, is like an awesome way to make money. I don't know. I don't make money at it, but I do love to blog, and other people have like their blog as their full-time business, which is freaking amazing, right? That's like unreal. You can have a real job or you can have an unreal job. Doesn't make any difference to anybody else, right? It's your personal choice. You create your own reality. Do what makes you happy. You know what you're trying to achieve, and you know your dreams and what's in your heart and where you're trying to go in life and what sort of life you want. Not everyone wants the same kind of life, you know? All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Just remember, you create your own reality, okay? Nobody else creates it for you. You don't want anybody else's reality. You want yours, okay? You wanna go after your dreams, your goals. And I know that you can do it. I know you can achieve them if you just keep after them and don't let anyone else kind of like pull you down in that crab bucket, okay? You hit that beach and you sprint for your life and you go after those dreams. Don't let anybody hold you back or hold you down, okay? And I love you. I'm gonna let you guys go, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.